Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Caroline, and I'm so excited for you to meet one of my amazing friends, Jaleh Zandieh, who is a global leadership expert. And we're going to chat a little bit today about what I do and the reason for me wanting to help the people that I help, which are creative entrepreneurs. And this is going to be the first video in a new series called Creative Conversations, where I'm just going to talk to people that I love and admire about things that affect organization and productivity. So welcome, Jaleh. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Caroline. I love our conversation, so thank you for
Yeah.
inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea behind this particular video is just for people to understand why I've chosen to help the people that I help, and that is all the amazing creative entrepreneurs out there who have so many projects that they want to get done. They have big dreams and big goals, but they might feel overwhelmed on how to get there and how to make it all reality. And I know that when I first met you, that was what we talked about a lot because I didn't realize um, how I'm kind of primed to help those people in the first place. So I'm so excited for you to explain to everybody why that is.
Yeah, well, it was amazing the first time I got to speak with you because we were talking about your leadership style and of the thousands of leadership styles I've done in almost 20 years now.
Hmm.
There's very few people that have your exact composition of leadership qualities and your leadership vantage point, your vision, like what you stand for, and the very unique viewpoint that you get to see oftentimes that covers many people's blind spots or removing the veils, that it just makes things a lot more clear because of your um, amazing uniqueness and the way that you've trained these qualities, these innate capacities, and you've been cultivating them for decades now. So lucky are the people that get to work with you. So I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, and when you told me sort of who my ideal audience is, I felt like the penny drop because I was like, oh, that's why. And I hadn't really been able to articulate that before. So, for those who don't know me, right, I'm an organization and productivity consultant, and I love, love, love helping people who have really, really big dreams make those dreams a reality in the smartest way possible. So, I want all of your dreams to come true, but I don't want them to come true in a way that burns you out or in a way that feels um, wrong or unethical. And I just want it to happen in the most nurturing way possible. And I've learned now that my leadership team is called Elevating Environments and Spaces. So tell us a little bit more about that leadership style.
Yeah. Yeah. So of all the nine service-driven leadership styles in the framework, yours by far, which is a leadership team. I call you guys a leadership family, even though you're from many, many parts of the world
Yeah.
across all different industries. So you may not all be in the same type of professional work. But one of the things you have in common is you care very deeply about the quality of the environment that people are in,
Mhm.
the way that they are nourished, the physical aesthetic of the place, but even more so the way people actually energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically feel
Mhm.
in the spaces that they're in, where they work, where they create, where they brainstorm, um, where they as they polish their talents and gifts and capacities, as they work with other people, as they mentor people, as they write their books, as they publish their courses, as they really tend to uh, discover new ways to express their talents and expertise in really creative ways, in a way that actually lifts up and builds up humanity with honesty, with integrity, with thoughtfulness, with an upright character, with this devotion to excellence.
Yeah.
So there's many, many qualities and values that you have as a unique individual, but also as this collective leadership team all over the world. These are These are values that are very, very important and precious to you, and you stand for them because you realize that all people in the world need them in
Hmm.
order to have the most successful, healthy lives possible.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that when you say it because it's so important to me to be in a safe, healthy, nurturing environment, not just physically, but digitally and mentally. Like those, those are my three pillars that I look at when I work with somebody. And it's like, it, it's everything to me because if you don't have those things in place, how can you possibly get anything done? Like you have to be able to feel good and feel okay and uh, feel safe and healthy and happy in order to actually live your best life, right? And so to me, that's just, I guess it comes naturally, but I guess, people don't necessarily see it the same way that are from different leadership lenses.
Right, right. Yeah, every leadership lens will have a different vantage point and see a different access point for the catalyst or for that ripple effect to go. So the pond ripple requires a pebble to fall. So the pebble that you're always going to gravitate towards first, which will help uh, take care of many of the other needs that all human beings have. But the way you tend to have the catalyst is let's uplift the quality of the environment, virtually the environment or physically the environment that people are spending life in,
Mhm.
where they're learning, where they're living, where they're working, where they're growing,
Yeah.
and it has this very not just a ripple effect with the quality of their work, but the quality of their relationships, the quality of their communication, the
Hmm.
way that they can express themselves. So it's linked to a lot of um, other very important needs that all humans have.
Yeah.
And but the way you do it, you actually can experience a lot of joy in up-leveling the quality of someone's environment. It's not a tedious task or an afterthought or, oh, we'll get to that when everything else is done. It's like, no, let's start there. Let's
Let's
start
start there.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And then you also explained that my big pillar is creativity and innovation. So I relate very well to creative people. And of course, I am creative, very creative myself. And so I understand that vantage point very well as well. At least that's how
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so a main pillar are everybody's leadership style is different, and our pillars can be very different. There's many of them, but with yours, your vantage point of elevating the environment sees, wow, what's possible when we uplevel the quality of the environment? The first thing that can happen is this creative download can happen, or we get the confidence to engage with a creative project, or we believe that we can take part in something that maybe is thinking outside of the box.
Hmm.
So the obstacles or the challenges or the blind spots that allow more things to be created or new innovations to unfold are a direct there's a direct connection with what is the quality of the environment that people are in, and then when that obstacle is removed, wow, people's like the way they're able to turn out content, the way they're able to clearly see and discover new ideas, they're just going to be set up for more success in terms of creative success.
Yeah. And one of the things I love to do for people is to create templates. We've talked about templates as well, which
Yeah.
is so cool. Um, I love giving people templates because it shows the step by step in a very logical order, and you kind of just have to follow the thread a little bit. Uh,
Helpful.
and it seems like that resonates really well with all of my ideal clients just because um, they see what's possible, but sometimes it's difficult to know where to focus first when you have so many ideas. Um, and that's what I love to do is I love to be able to go, okay, let's focus here first, and then let's get that going. But let's not exclude all of these other possibilities. They're going to happen too. It's just that we need to do them in an order that makes sense for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have a highly telescopic visionary pillar matched with or coupled with a very detailed, specific, nuanced, oriented leadership lens. So it's the kind of the best of both worlds because you're constantly tuning into the reality of big things are possible.
Hmm.
We can do things that haven't happened before. We can create a reality where there is so much more joy and so much more beauty and so much more delight and more unity and togetherness and all of the things that people want can be created. And if we only understood some of the bottlenecks in a more detailed, refined way, then we can create a very specific, coherent path to access around the challenges. So again, ideal for so many people who want to create not maybe just one thing, but want to continuously be in a creative state of being, so their ideas can actually come into reality. It doesn't have to stay on their dream board or in their journal. They can actually bring it into existence, and people can read it or interact with it. Their impact can continue to ripple as well.
Yeah. I love that. You know, like my favorite thing is when a client publishes something new or does something new, creates something new, and I feel like, oh, that was possible because we put the process in place to make it happen. Like I get
Oh,
so excited to help push all those big, beautiful ideas out into the world because like they're no good if they are sitting on your board, you know? Like if you have these amazing ideas or if you think differently or if you just have a new product or something that you want to get out into the world and it's going to happen like someday, like that bothers me. I want it to be out in like the best possible way as soon as possible, like, and let's like make it happen. It makes me
yeah.
so happy when I see people get stuff done and that it's not just this big dream that they thought of and then kind of gave up on, but it's actually a dream that they worked for and make come true. Like that makes me so excited.
So beautiful. Yeah, and that makes so much sense because you're again with your vantage point seeing of what is one of the biggest needs that individuals and our collective humanity is facing. We're not always certain if we're in safe spaces, whether it's in our
Yeah.
own home or out in public spaces or in schools or on holiday or traveling to another country like you and I both have done. Um, so there's a level of fear that can occur a lot of times if we're not with people who are familiar to us, or can we still feel like we're in a create a sense of belonging or be included if we venture into a new space, going from high school to college or from university to our first job or changing changing jobs, which a lot of people have done in the last couple of years, or going out to start your own business or getting married and moving in with our partner or having kids. So there's lots of factors that change how we feel in our space, in the environments we're in. And
Yeah.
your amazing clients have this deep care for humanity to uplift and remind any of the people in their community or in the culture that they're in, we actually have this common human need and we can all look out for each other. And so they have this deep care of empathy, they have a deep care of um, how to use their time well, how to use their life well, how to leave a legacy, how to create impact that is meaningful and uplifting and enriching to others. So they're not just kind of looking out just for themselves, they're thinking, oh, how can we actually be the best version
Better
of
humanity.
ourselves with and for others? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And actually it's interesting that this came up here because as organizers, we often talk about ourselves as managers of change. Like that's the in our industry, that's really how we see ourselves, I think, in a broad sense, because so often the clients call when there is some sort of change that has happened and they are not sure quite how to handle that change. And so a lot of the organizers step in. Usually it's a move or some sort of other thing that pushes the change, right? And then that's when you step in, because you need to figure out how to set up the new space, or how to manage in the new space, and how to make the patterns work, and how to not reinvent the wheel. And so that's when a lot of us organizers will step in and go, okay, here's how we manage this new space that we're in. um, so it's really interesting, and I'm actually quite curious to see how many other organizers have my leadership lens. That could be a really fun thing to check, actually. I think a lot of us probably, I know we're all Virgos, at least most of us. But it could be really fun. So for those of you who haven't had your leadership lens checked by Jaleh, go to leadyourdesign.com and get an assessment with Jaleh, because it's so transformative when you understand how you see the world, and then you can better communicate with others, you can better understand yourself, and how you express yourself. And it's just been been so fascinating to learn all this about myself, and I really now see much more clear who I am and who my ideal clients are, and how I actually can bring value to their lives, which helps me not question my own value of what I bring to the table, you know?
Thank you. That's amazing. I think everyone inherently is a leader. I think anyone who wants to lead their life from a place of integrity and joy and impact for other people,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, in a meaningful way, that it polishes your own talents, but it also reflects more light to add more goodness into the world. I think everyone has capacity to be a leader in that sense. And so one of the things I always appreciated about you, Caroline, and this has been so consistent since we've met, is your belief in the the creative possibility when new work comes into existence, like how that can not just amplify that one entrepreneur or that one creative's voice, but what it leads to, like how we're all so connected with each other, and we can inspire each other, and just one song being put into the world can inspire a movement
Mm-hmm.
or a film or a book or a course or a YouTube channel, or discussions that can really foster a lot of growth. And one of the most important things, I think, is hope.
Yeah.
You really help to fan the flame of hope of what people see inside of themselves, like what they can actually bring forth in their voice or in their mind or in their ideas, like bringing it into reality, and doing it in a really uplifting way, that it doesn't have to be a battle to make
Mm-hmm.
that work come into the world, but it can actually be, it can be a very focused process for sure. But one of the things that I've told a few of my other clients about you is she takes the madness out of the process, because we can get very, stressed out and a little impatient with ourselves or with the people around us. And
Yeah.
when I work with you, when I've seen other people work with you, there's even more connection. Their home life feels more nourished. They and their partner get along even better because they're actually not frustrated or overwhelmed or exhausted, which are, stress points that can affect us all, even the kindest of people. Um, so yeah, I just think there's something really important in what you do, but also how you do it. It's
Yeah.
very special and unique.
Yeah, because it's not only about what you produce, it's also about not burning out while producing it, and not martyring yourself um for the benefit of others. I mean, you could, but why do you have to if you don't have to? You can do things in a light, fun way. You can produce a lot of content, you can be very creative, you can get all of your projects done, and you can do it in an easy, fun way. It doesn't have to be difficult. uh why make it difficult when we don't have to? So I'm just super excited about helping people realize all of their hopes and dreams in a way that feels really good, and doesn't extinguish that flame that I love so much.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's a really beautiful way of saying it. Yeah, you care about the art that's being produced or the end result, but also the person themselves who is bringing that art or that creative project to the light. It's really nice because a lot of people love the work but forget about the person or don't know how to sort of support the creative entrepreneur or the author or the playwright um,
And if you're putting
in the
beautiful
process.
work out in the world, you deserve to be taken care of. You deserve the
Yeah.
best because you're creating a ripple effect that's going to last for generations. And that makes you really, really important. We need to take care of you. So let's do that.
And that's your vantage point, like just very beautifully said. Like simply, you don't just see the work or the goal, you see the person and foster the process
Yeah.
along the way. So people feel seen and understood and believed in and encouraged. And you make the process so much more streamlined. And, I always say, like, another love language, I think, is templates.
Yeah.
To actually have a hybrid lens like me, to have a sense of, yes, we can do this. There's regard for the work, there's regard for you as a human being. And let's create all of these shortcuts
Mm-hmm.
and streamline the process so you cannot just do one book or two books in your lifetime. Like you can just be this content machine without feeling like you're a machine.
Mm-hmm.
You still have all of this like nourishing humanness that is safeguarded.
Yeah.
And that's a level of and Caroline that you bring. Looking after the work, seeing the big picture of possibility, and then all of the details along the way that can often be overlooked, but are very essential.
You. And I know that now because of you, which makes it so much easier for me to, understand what I bring to the table for people and how I can help them. And that makes my marketing easier and that improves my business and that improves my life. So thank you, Jaleh, for being such a beacon in my world and for having such a ripple effect on me. And for everybody who's watching, please reach out to Jaleh if you are interested in learning about your leadership lens because it's just fascinating to understand. Like she knows we've talked about this. My whole world is so much better. It has improved so much just because I understand who I am and what I can do for others. And we all want to create impact and a ripple effect in the world, right? And knowing who you are is like the first step to that, to understand what you can bring to the table and help people with. So thank you so much, Jaleh, for being on the first episode of Creative Conversations.
So
So
welcome.
knowing your I guess the takeaway is that knowing who you are and your leadership lens is a huge way to impact the way you show up and how you do things and knowing who can help you and how you can help others. So that definitely affects organization and productivity in my book. It certainly does for me and for sure for all my clients as well. So thank you, Jaleh. Be sure to
Oh,
like and subscribe as usual and follow Jaleh. I'll have all the links underneath the video as well. So yeah, we'll see you next time.